8 WWE stars made champion at the wrong time. Timing is key in WWE, especially when it comes to crowning the right world champion at the right time. A world champion is effectively the poster child of the brand, and thus, WWE often needs to be meticulous on when to pull the trigger on elevating someone like this. In the best case scenario, it needs to be the right person in the right place at the right time. WWE is not always so lucky when it comes to having the perfect timing for crowning their world champions. Sometimes a wrestler may have the perfect look for a champion, but the in-ring skills, promo skills, and crowd connection wouldn't be ideal until long after they faltered as champions when they weren't ready. In other situations, WWE has the right champion, but they get overshadowed by another wrestler, better suited for the role. In any case, sometimes WWE learns the hard way that for world champions, timing is everything. Dating back to 2015, WWE was trying effortlessly to push Roman Reigns as their most beloved top babyface, largely to no avail. In 2016, they would attempt to do so by dubbing on-screen authority figure Triple HH as the heel champion for the big dog to overcome. At Royal Rumble 2016, the Authority forced Roman Reigns to defend his WWE championship in the Royal Rumble match, leading the King of Kings to enter and win it all. The majority of the crowd was still not endeared to the rise of Reigns, but one WWE superstar who won the fans over was Roman's former shieldmate, Dean Ambrose. In 2016, the Lunatic Fringe was undoubtedly the unanimously beloved babyface that WWE hoped Reigns would be. Still, though, WWE was committed to crowning Reigns at WrestleMania 32 by booking him to defeat HHA, which he did to a chorus of boos in the night's main event. Nonetheless, WWE did have one chance to rectify things in a way that fans would have been pleased with, though. The month before Mania was Roadblock, where Dean Ambrose challenged Triple H for the title. Had Ambrose won, this would have given fans a champion they could get behind, and even an intriguing storyline of the former Shield brothers main eventing the grandest stage of them all. Alas, it was not meant to be. Upon Rob Van Dam's sudden suspension from WWE after being pulled over for speeding with a bag of weed in his possession, he had to drop both the WWE and ECW championships quickly after winning them at One Night Stand 2006. He dropped the WWA Championship to Edge on the July 3 edition of Raw, and the ECW Championship to Big Show the next night on EQ. Big Show's EQ World Championship run was highlighted by an extreme win over Sabu at SummerSlam, an alliance with the McMahons against one of WWE's best factions, Dex, culminating in a Hell in a Cell match, and then losing the title in an infamous Extreme Elimination Chamber to Bobby Lashley. Certainly not a bad run, but one has to wonder how different wrestling history would be if someone else were thrust into that same role, namely Kurt Angle. Fresh off of his World Heavyweight Championship run on SmackDown, Kurt Angle was still white-hot coming into SCW, but as he once explained to the Huffington Post, feeling like he was demoted to working smaller crowds, in smaller venues, was partially why he left W in addition to feeling burnt out and injured. Considering that Big Show frequently flipped back and forth between the smaller ECW shows and working with the McMahons in bigger arenas, perhaps WWE giving Angle the ball as champion could have inspired him to stay at least a little longer. At Money in the Bank 2022, Liv Morgan won the women's ladder match, garnering the contract that guaranteed her a world championship match at any time in any place of her choosing. She chose that very night, mere moments after Ronda Rousey successfully defended her WWE SmackDown Women's Championship against Natalya. This would kick off a 98-day title reign that, unfortunately, did not garner the fan support WWE hoped for. This isn't solely the fault of Morgan, as her reign as Women's World Champion years later was much better. Truth be told, her reign as Women's World Champion in 2024 can be hailed among the best recent world title reigns for the women's roster in WWE. Clearly, Liv is capable of putting on great performances, but her very first title reign simply did not have the same effect. The booking was largely the issue here, as Morgan was seldom booked to be a credible champion, often winning matches by the skin of her teeth, or as was the case in her SummerSlam rematch, with Rousey looking weak in victory.